mean, when you look at your, let me just go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to pull up the, your filmography. Like from 1995 to, films that are coming out in 2019, you've been working essentially every year. Well, what's really been the trick? Getting a movie role here and there, I feel like most people could do that, but to consistently keep booking and being a working actor, since 1995 essentially, like how do you pull that off?
Well, first of all, don't ever get a big head, because you may be number 1 on the call sheet today, but you could be number 20 tomorrow. And being nice is just cool anyway, So once people see that you have a good energy to work around, it makes it so much easier for them to call you back, because there are a lot of people that are newcomers that feel like having that diva attitude is what is necessary, and it's so not. It's a curse when you do that, and you curse yourself. So never get a big head. Always be grateful, and be prepared. In our business, money is time and time is money. So don't waste their time or their money, and don't be so, I did this, so I can't possibly do that. You might need to do that in order to get the next this. So I look up under every rock. What is going on? To talk to the cast and people, you got anything coming up? Like I'm out there, putting myself out there.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, for example, someone like a Jeffrey Owens, when you look at that situation, and I have a very unpopular view when it comes to this, but I felt like someone who was given an opportunity like the Cosby Show, was the biggest show on television, even though you didn't have the biggest role, you still had that platform. To be working at Trader Joe's when you're approaching retirement age, to me shows you haven't been hustling this whole time. Whereas someone like yourself, you've been booking stuff since the Cosby Show pretty much.
But that also could come from the hypnosis, I'll use that loosely, that Cosby had entranced all of those kids and people that he worked with. Because if you look at that track record, nobody has really gone on to do more outside of the Cosby Show from the Cosby Show.
Do you think it's because of those syndication checks?
No, I think it's because of him in their mind. He wanted them to all go back to school. You go back to school. You do this. He was really their father. So when they're listening to him and taking his advice, because he is Bill Cosby, I feel like those people, except for Lisa Bonet, because she jumped up out of there and was like, I'm
she started doing
me.
naked photo shoots.
Yeah, because she wasn't
did like
listening.
Angel Heart. Remember, she was naked.
I loved it. With Mickey Rourke?
Yeah.
Loved that movie. But that was her choice as an artist. And she jumped off the ledge, free falling, and was like, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's my life. I don't think anyone working under him had the courage to do that outside of her. Look at Malcolm Jamal Warner. Talented guy. He's just now, after all that time. And they're still getting checks. After all that time, he's just now getting in. He was great in the OJ Story with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, right, yeah, he was
amazing. And then he's doing other stuff now.
Right, but Bill Cosby did fumble the rerun checks when when all the charges started coming in.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey even talked about how he had to go get a job because that syndication money started slowing down.
Yeah, but those checks, they deplete after a while. Like, you could be getting residuals still from the Cosby, and you can get a residual for 25 cents or nothing.
Right.
So you can't always count on residuals. You got to work.
Exactly. And my point was that at 57 years old, the work you should be doing should not be bagging groceries.
Well, I commend him for not having an ego too high that he wouldn't go and get a job like that. The problem, what I think happened with him is, yes, the syndication checks and the mind hypnosis of Bill Cosby telling you got to be careful and you got to do it. If he's telling comedians you can't say the N word or the F word, if he's telling us that we're producing sex and showing that young people are disgusting and only involved in sex, what do you think he's telling these people?
Okay, so what your theory, and this is a very interesting theory because I never thought about this at all, is that everyone who worked for the Cosby Show would turn down roles that they felt that Bill Cosby would disapprove of.
I think so.
Long after the show was done and so forth.
Because he's still very connected with all of them. Before this stuff happened, before all of the allegations happened, he was still very close to all of them. You saw, I can't remember her name right, Keisha Knight Pulliam, you know, she was walking behind him.
Yeah.
You know, these people call him and talk to him all the time. So there's that loyalty to him, and I feel like it hindered them later in life because they didn't make those connections that would have kept them working. They didn't go out and shake hands and see what projects is going on or have lunch with people, because he probably said that's not good to do.
Right, because I'm looking at the cast. I mean, Jeffrey Owens we talked about. Lisa Bonet went left field.
Yeah.
Keisha Knight Pulliam really didn't do much. Some modeling work, some King magazine here and there.
The only one.
Felicia Rashad here and there.
Just now.
You know,
she's in
Creed. She's on Empire.
Empire. Just now,
she's
though.
in a Drake video.
Yes, Kiki. Do you love? I love her though. I love her sister.
But honestly, you look at how long the show's been off the air, and you look at her catalog during that time.
She didn't do much.
Not much.
If her sister Debbie didn't call her, I mean, they did a independent movie that Debbie directed. I can't remember the name of it, but it was Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen, and that was the last time I had saw her before this newer stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like her sister had her back and was like, "Come on out," you know. But this is all speculation. I don't really know what happened. This is just my thought.
Yeah, I mean, Tempest Bledsoe didn't do much.
No, the only one, Raven.
Raven Simone.
And she went from him to the Disney Channel. So think of how pure and wonderful that seemed to him.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory.
Just saying. Going over there to Mickey, girl, make your money. And she's done an amazing job at becoming a boss babe. You know, like she's a millionaire, maybe a billionaire. I don't know. She goes to school whenever she feels like it.
Yeah.
She gets new degrees. She's producing her own shows. She's the only one.
Well, she was probably the most successful one.
Yeah.
Off that show.
Yeah. But she came later, so you know how it is.
She's on tail end.
Yeah. You know how your parents are harder on you, and then when the grandkids come, they're a little bit more softer. So maybe that was the energy. I don't know.